And hello again, dear ones. Rev Robert with you here on the Midweek Pick Me Up. Hey, this is the Midweek Pick Me Up here on the New Thought Media Network. And do us a favor, if you're watching this broadcast, share it with a friend. It would appear we're having a few little problems with our Facebook group connection again, and would love to make sure people get a chance to see this. So, okay, here's what's going on. Number one, well, it's been a weird, crazy week, and it's hard to think of a proper way to be a program about upliftment and positivity in a week that we've had without at least talking about what it is that's been going on. And I'm going to do that in a manner of which we would normally do things. This program's all about 2 prayers, 2 songs, and a talk in between. We're going to get started with our prayer this evening, although we're going to do this prayer just a little bit differently this evening. If you're with me, I'm going to get started by
You turn the news on, you get your blues on from all the negativity. It's hard to wrap yourself around what's going down on TV. You can stress it, second guess it. You can think about it way too hard, or you can move the conversation from your head to your heart. Sometimes it's a matter of just letting go and holding on to the one thing we know. Love wins, love wins. That's where the circle of life begins. It's the one simple lesson we're learning again and again. Love wins. We all matter. It doesn't matter if we're on one side or the other, as long as we find a way to get along with one another. We can agree to disagree, or maybe even realize that you see another point of view when you look through someone else's eyes. Sometimes it's as easy as just letting go and holding on to the one thing we know. Love wins, love wins. That's where the circle of life begins. It's the one simple lesson worth learning again and again. Love wins whenever you give it a chance. It is the one hope that everyone has to build a better world for us all. Love wins, love wins. That's where the circle of life begins. It's the one simple lesson we're learning again and again. Love wins. That's where it all begins. Love wins. We learn it again and again. Love wins. That's where it all begins. Love wins. We learn it again and again. Love is the lesson. Love wins. That's where it all begins. Love is the lesson. Love wins. We learn it again and again. Love wins. That's where it all begins. Love wins. We learn it again and again. Love is the lesson. Love wins.
Yes, it does, folks. Love wins, and that is what we are called to remember on a day such as this. Actually, on every day. To wake up remembering every day that love absolutely wins, no matter what. No matter what the conditions, no matter what's going on in our world, no matter what it may appear. And sometimes, yeah, it feels pretty horrific. It looks pretty horrific. It feels pretty harsh. And we don't ever, and please don't ever hear me say that we should just not feel, not process, not go through, not experience that. But we have to hold to that greater truth that there's something emerging that's necessary for the evolution of human consciousness, for the evolution of human experience. It's days like today that I rely on a quote by Ernest Holmes, and if you've ever hung out around one of them around at any length of time, you've heard me say this before, and you're going to hear me say it again. Stay with the one and never deviate from it. Stay with the truth. Stay with God. Stay with the absolute knowing that we are love and light. Stay with the one and never deviate from it. Never leave it for a moment. Nothing else can equal this attitude. To desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove that we do not know the truth. I have needed to know the truth in the last couple of days, and I've had some great people help me to know that truth. But I've had to just stay with that truth. It's all God. When things look the worst, that is the supreme time to demonstrate to ourselves that there is no obstruction to truth. When things look the worst is the best time to work, the most satisfying time. The person who can throw themselves with a complete abandon into the limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from all apparent moorings, is the one who will always receive the greatest rewards. And in today, it's not about receiving the rewards. It's not about cutting ourselves loose from the old belief systems and jumping in. And it is. We talk about that in a minute. But really, today is about that first part of that quote, to stay with the one and never deviate from it. Life is good. Life is prime. No matter what it looks like is happening in the world right now, in your life, around the planet, and especially in the face of an incredibly ugly and brutal expression of gun violence, which we've had to endure here again. And again, if you're watching and you know this station and you know New Thought Media Network, you know that we're just right down the road from where this happened, 20 miles away. And no matter what the experience is, that's where we find our prayer list. Now, I learned this long ago. I think I originally heard this from Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. The place where the news is the place where we find our prayer list. The news is the place where we must do our internal work first to move our head, to move the conversation from our head to our heart. Right? That's what Harold's telling us in a big part of that song. Is we have to move the conversation from our head to our heart. We've got to move the conversation around what makes sense and why did this happen and to how do I serve? How do I make sure this doesn't happen again? By loving more, by being more compassionate, by giving more. We can argue until the cows come home about who's right and what could have been done and who missed what, and we can blame and all of that. No. We raise up our consciousness to say, I recognize the truth that is emerging here, the truth that there is a greater conversation that wants to be had, and that conversation must be had from our hearts, not from our heads, not from our political talking points, not from our long-held belief systems, but from our hearts of what we know is right. See, I believe, and today I believe we're being called, is that we must meet the conditions of the day with an unwavering commitment to love. That is what it's about. We have to meet the weird, crazy, outrageous, whatever they are. We must meet the conditions of the day with an unwavering commitment to love, with an unwavering commitment to making a difference, to an unwavering commitment to shining our consciousness of truth and of love and of light. We must meet the conditions of the day with an unwavering commitment to being one of the ones we have been waiting for. We must make an unwavering commitment to being one of the ones we have been waiting for. I'm ready. And I know there's so many people right now willing, ready to say yes, to say yes to what is ours to do, to saying yes to serving in a different way, to showing up in a different way, to doing business and work and life and education and healthcare and everything a different way. We're meeting that consciousness on the planet right now. We're seeing that happen. Some of it feels like it's being forced upon us, but ultimately what we're seeing is a restructuring of the human experience on planet Earth because of a long-running belief system that we had to get to this place to transform, but we are transforming. One of the people that I've called a teacher and a mentor that has always found a way that I have always truly admired in the words he finds. And today an email lands on my desk, of course. This is Dr. Roger Teal. Minister, I don't know what he is, Minister Emeritus. In New Thought Teachings, he recently retired, if you didn't know that. In New Thought Teachings, we do not deny events of, quote, darkness. However, we do deny the ultimate power of the darkness. In dealing with a tragedy such as that which occurred in Boulder, it is important not only to embrace all the feelings, but to eventually explore how we can channel them into some kind of heightened personal purpose, some way we can each work for solutions or change. And so we started tonight's program with 100 seconds of silence and a candle and an opportunity to recognize the names, and many in Colorado that are not very far removed from more than one or more of those names. And we do that work of healing. We do that work, as Dr. Rogers suggested, and we begin as soon as it feels right. Begin to explore how we can channel those feelings into some kind of heightened personal purpose, some way we can each work for solutions or change. And he continues, we can each choose to make sure that we show up in the world as a point of light. Sometimes the darkness can seem overwhelming, yet even just a single candle can provide enough light to move forward. The actions of an imbalanced person cannot be allowed to diminish our light-filled living. Let's find ways to lift up and intensify the light of oneness and inclusion, kindness and compassion, faith and steadfast vision. And steadfast vision. Meet the conditions of the day with an unwavering commitment to a steadfast vision of a world that works for everyone. And you know, folks, it's going to take everyone. It's going to take every single one of us. It's going to take every one of us to say yes to the calling that is within, to make a stand, to work together, to be in that place that says, I shall serve the emerging vision of a world that works for everyone. I may not know how it is going to work. I may not know what it looks like or what I'm going to have to do, and that's okay. We must meet the conditions of every day with an unwavering commitment to love, to making a difference, to shining our greatness, to being one of the ones that we've been waiting for. To lift up and intensify the light of oneness and inclusion, kindness and compassion, faith and steadfast vision. That is what we are about. So I suggest we get about doing that. I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that every day, day in and day out. And I invite you to join us in it. It doesn't have to look the same as what we do here. And, you know, if this is moving you, New Thought Media Network, if you're finding a light here that allows you to shine your light, that encourages you, please be a part of that. Show up and support that. And if you'd like to shine your light here, please reach out. Let us know. I've got another song for us tonight that will lead us into our closing prayer. And this is, to me, well, I don't know if New Thought has Grammys. I know we have Posse Music Awards. And those are a great thing, by the way. Check that out. This next song is an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and any other award you want to make up all rolled into one. Faith Rivera and Harold Payne.
of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now.
Every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine.
Paint with every vision, dance in new directions, explode to new heights in your mind.
I will rise up with you today.
Lift up my voice.
Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for.
Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Hey. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word, one dream, one voice, one heart, one word.
Stand together.
One dream, one voice, one heart, one word. Stand together. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Yeah, yeah. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Stand together.
Live the
Be the hope of a
dream.
new day dawning.
Be the
We're the ones who
hope.
can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Stand together.
Live the dream. Be the hope.
And we do. We stand together in consciousness, stand together in mighty power, stand together in a deep recognition of the oneness that is God's life, that is expressing as all life. My life, the lives of each and every one touched by this vibration, by this broadcast, by this experience, by this recording, each and every one that is in right now raising up in a vibration of love and a consciousness of knowing that this is an amazing time. This is a time where the world, everyone is being called to their spiritual awakening, where each one is being called to their spiritual magnificence in order to serve the emerging vision of a world that works for everyone. We are each vital, each absolutely vital to the expression of God's creation on earth, to this great becoming that is God's life happening on planet Earth right now. So I speak this word for each. I speak this word for each and every one that may hear and that may say yes. Yes to the sacred inner calling. Yes to making a difference. Yes to being the love. Yes to being one of the ones. Yes to shining their greatness. Yes to being unwaveringly committed to a vision of a world that works for everyone, to meet the conditions of the day through our spiritual practices, our spiritual principles, to turn away from the doubt and to turn away from that place where we may wish to desert the truth, to turn away from those conditions that make us question our own belief and our own faith, and to stay constant in the one. To stay faithful in the one, to stay courageously standing in the light of darkness, in the shadow of the darkness, and say, there is light. There is light here somewhere, and I shall find it. I shall come to see the light, and the light shall shine for all to see. That is our work. That is what we are about this day, each and every day. Bring the light, be the light, shine the light, reflect the light, find the light, whatever it is. Just don't hide the light. Do not put that light under a bushel. Let that light shine for each and every one. So that together we are uplifted. So that no one is left in the darkness. So no one is left wondering or questioning their own worth, their own value, so that everyone may be in that sense of belonging, so everyone may know that their life matters. We shine our light so others may say yes to their own light, so they may see the way in the midst of what is the darkness. And we do not deny that darkness, we just do not dwell there. Move on and shine the light. Lift up those around you. And know that life is good, no matter what. So I am grateful for what this day holds, for what's coming next. Grateful for this reflection, for this time of honoring and this time of casting a vision, this time of letting go of the old and the past and that which is no longer working, and saying yes to a greater way of being as we move forward in consciousness, forward in experience, forward in time, forward throughout this great revelation that is humanity's becoming. And know that it's all God. And if it's all God, then it must all be good. And I affirm this truth as I release this word into the law by saying, and so it is. So it is, and so it is. Thank you, dear ones, so much for being with us here this evening on the New Thought Media Network. Yes, Terry, I trust it will be. And for those that don't know what's going on there, Terry's got a show on our radio station, ntmedia.org. She's got a program. It's called Feel the Flow. It's been going on for quite a few weeks now. We've got a podcast. You can catch the back episodes, and you can hear her show every Wednesday and Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, and now at 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time on Sundays. I don't know if I told you that, Terry. I think I might have. 10:30 Wednesdays and Saturdays, 2:30 p.m. on Sundays. Feel the Flow with Terry Paul Choice on New Thought Radio, and only available on New Thought Radio and her podcast here on the New Thought Media Network. Thanks for doing all you do, Terry. I so appreciate it. I love your show every week. Listen to it every week, and I love it. All right, folks. So there's our plug for today. If you like what's going on here, please do hit the donate button. If you're on one of our monthly committed giving programs, thank you. Thank you for being committed to bringing this mighty network out into the world in a way that people can engage and share this. Please share this everywhere you can share this. Whenever you might think about sharing it, share this. I love you. I think you rock. We'll be back. I'll be back again. No, wait. No. I'm not going to be here next week. Robert's getting a vacation. Family spring break time. The whole family's getting away and heading out into the wilderness so that we don't have to deal with people and we can get away from the city and be safe in the wilderness. I would say join us, but no. Somebody will be here next week, though. I'm not sure who yet, but somebody will be here to bring you a midweek pick me up next Wednesday, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Until then, thank you again for being with us. We love you. Peace and blessings. Go forth. Be loved. Bye now. Check it out. Thursdays, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, noon Eastern. A healthy dose of Jersey Girl wisdom. Live with Rev Jersey Girl. Sponsored by New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.